something's going to happen. It's a got very big egos involved, I tell you. Big egos involved. But I think something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I'd just back away and they're going to have to keep going.
Yes, you heard that right. President Trump, who has always insisted that he is the only person who can bring an end to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, is now threatening to back away from it. This raises new questions about how involved he really wants to be in these negotiations.
Again, this was a European situation. It should have remained a European situation. Should have remained, but we have, because the past administration felt very strongly that we should be involved, that we got involved much more than Europe did in terms of the money. And
if US backs out, it could be disastrous for Ukraine, particularly if it is coupled with an end to military, humanitarian and intelligence assistance. While European leaders stand firmly behind President Zelensky, without the muscle and money provided by the US, their efforts may be insufficient to sustain Ukraine's resistance. Trump recently mentioned that both Russia and Ukraine are inclined towards a ceasefire. This was the consensus after a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
But we just spent 2.5 hours talking to Vladimir Putin, and I think some progress has been made. It's a terrible situation going on over there. 5,000 young people every single week are being killed. So hopefully we did something. We also spoke to the heads of most of the European nations, and we're trying to get that whole thing wrapped up.
However, Trump has also let out a vague idea that the Vatican and the new American Pope Leo might be involved in peace process. Most observers believe that there will be no peace unless America exerts maximum leverage. Zelensky too feels the same.
I had 2 phone calls with President Trump today in different formats. During the first call, we talked about what is very important for Ukraine, the ceasefire. We talked about these things in Istanbul and before that. The second topic we talked about is the readiness of the United States to make more serious sanction steps. I asked him to consider it and impose the sanctions if Russia does not support the ceasefire and doesn't want to end this war. The third thing I asked him before his call with Putin is not to make any decisions about Ukraine without us. These things are basic for us.
Trump's optimism about the call is also somewhat at odds with the Russian view. Putin only said that his country is ready to work to craft a possible future peace arrangement.
I think we can say that yesterday's phone call once again confirmed that statements are being made by the Russian side, but so far there is no evidence of declared intentions. He is still not prepared to make any concessions. He is only talking about a ceasefire on his terms, i.e., on the familiar terms, such as not joining NATO, ceding the occupied territories, and much more. Vladimir Putin is obviously continuing to play for time, which is also very clear to see.
Talks about memorandums and a possible future of peace hardly seems like the kind of solid ground on which lasting deals can be quickly built. This is precisely the behavior that has made the US hint several times about backing out from negotiations. JD Vance and Trump both probably believe that Putin is probably not serious about stopping this war. This is what Vance had to say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, but there are so many different things that are obstacles that it's hard to pinpoint one in particular. Look, I think one open question is Vladimir Putin serious about negotiating peace, right? He has made some concessions. He has taken some serious steps in these conversations, but we feel like, we're at a point where we're hitting an impasse, and that's why the president is talking to him on the phone. I think honestly that President Putin, he doesn't quite know how to get out of the war. If you think about this, he's got 1 million men under arms. He's re-engineered his entire economy. What used to be manufacturing facilities making products for people to use in their civilian life, they're now making tank shells and artillery shells and drones. And so this is a little bit of a guess, but I think the president would agree that part of this is I'm not sure that Vladimir Putin has a strategy himself for how to unwind the war.
All these things point towards just one thing. The US is losing patience and is trying to get out of the mediator role in the Russia-Ukraine war. Trump is solely into deals, and only those that benefit him. The conflict being dragged on won't benefit him or his country, so he won't hesitate to pull out of it. But after that, even the little hope of a permanent ceasefire or end to the war seems distant. This may push Russia and Ukraine's war into a new unwanted normal, unless Europe steps into America's shoes and wears the hat of a mediator. That's it from us today. For more news and updates, keep watching SNG News.